Hello, this is David Birch at StarPath School of Navigation in Seattle with an update on the Jacob Adoram tracking project. We're getting a little bit organized. We have now a new blog, and we'll be putting all the information directly related to his voyage and the studies we're doing with that in that blog, and I'll put that in the video description. And then we have this ongoing series of videos, which will be like a playlist. And so then every few days, or if anything interesting comes up, then I'll come online and we'll discuss it and update the video and the discussion. So the first thing we have here is I started it, and now there's an index. This is at this new blog. I'll have to put the link down. Well, it's pretty easy. Jacob-Adoram-track.blogspot. So I'll put that link in there. And so this has a list. So what we have there, and I'm going to show that in a moment, and that's you get all of this stuff right here by clicking this button, Jacob Data KML. And that will make a KML file that you load into Google Earth, and that'll show all this data. And so then this index is showing what we have in there to date. To date, this is all the information. And so what is new, and I've had one introduction already about this and discussed some of the points. And with each one, then we'll just maybe expand a bit on the other when we do a new one. So this one I added the clouds overlay, and he's been pretty much open sky. But as he gets further down there towards Australia, he's going to get into some clouds, and and we may learn something about the weather from those. And this is, and then we have I put a link here. We have a discussion of cloud images, another article, I think a very valuable actually article on cloud images, and there's a link to it here, this satellite image briefings. And then, okay, so that's new. And the other thing new, we had the RTOF's ocean model currents, but now the OSCAR currents are back. They were taking a break for the government shutdown, a political break there, and they're back online. But and those currents could be interesting. Generally, they're an average, and then I have a link here, by the way. Let me interrupt myself. There's a link, starpath.com/currents. Now, that's a rather long presentation that talks about various current data. And so the OSCAR currents are a 10-day sliding average of the currents that they update every 5 days. So it's only new every 5 days. The RTOFs comes out every day, once a day, and it extends out 5 days, but we just put one out. So every few days, unless we see something interesting, every few days we'll update this. The currents are changing relatively slowly, but it is something we care about a lot. And then so I'm going to show you that on the Google Earth, and then I'll just take one more minute to look here at the ASCAT. That's all, and this other things we've all discussed, and they will be coming up more later on. Okay, so let's go. So let me just start here. So you see on Google Earth at the moment, I don't have anything. It's all empty. And so here's this article. Now let me see what happens. I click this, and that's going to save that. Let me save it to the downloads and say save. So that and these are really small, by the way. These files are really small, 15 kilobytes. Okay, so then now in principle I can just click that. Yes, look at that. I just clicked that. As long as you have Google Earth open, I just clicked that and it loaded it. And so there it is. I don't see it here though. Let's see. Why is that not here? Oh, okay. Well, it came down in here in the bottom of my places. So here, this is all other old stuff of mine up here. And this is the new file. This is okay, and so here's his, here are his positions. I'll remind you again that the red one is 18 Zulu. And you roll that over and it shows what it is. And we marked every 18 one like that. So what you can do then is go up to this tool, the ruler tool, and then just go from here to here, say, something like that, and you see that he did 35 miles there. Or you could, come up and, say for this is one, oh, this is like a big day here. Look at that big day here. So this day here, he went from here to here. So here he got 69 miles. That's trucking. And so there you go. Now, when you see things like that, you start thinking currents. You start thinking there's got to be some kind of currents maybe helping him that we're not understanding. Okay, let me come back to that. So that's that. That's how you can use that tool, clear, quit. Okay. Now, the clouds, this is here, cloud image overlay. Oh, he is just starting to get into some clouds, just sort of getting into some clouds right in here. And that one, and you can look and see when did this. This is infrared image, 21 UTC on February 1st. Now, it's right now like 5 o'clock on the 2nd on UTC. So that's 21, that's 3. This is 8 hours ago. So this image is 8 hours ago. I believe these are updated about every 6 hours. So anyway, that's a new tool that you've got. You can just see the perspective. Now, this image, by the way, and we have this article, and I have it linked right here, and it's called Image Briefing. So if you click that link, you'll go to our satellite cloud images, up here. We have an article on this, the article on these images, when they're broadcast and all of that. Let me show you this. And here's a map that defines what these different, what the different images are that's available to mariners in an easy way. And, I don't know what happened behind me there. But this is the one we're looking at here. This is what we call P3, this image right here. Okay, so that's that. Someone turned in a quiz in our online courses, so that doesn't matter right now. Okay, so we can shut this off. I'll go back up here and shut off the clouds. Now, the other thing I wanted to show that was new was the currents, and that's here. So before we had the Artoff's currents. And again, this is this dark green here, and I don't have the scales put in here yet. That'll be another big announcement. I get the scales figured out. But this green is about 1 knot, and it's sort of a little yellowish. It's like a 1.3 or something. So this may be hitting as much as 1.5, 1.3. But this is not much current here, according to the Artoff's model, and it's going north, basically north, and not. So that does not make sense. But these things could be wrong. That's the whole point. Now, I shut that one off and look at the Oscar currents. That's the same thing. It shows it going north, a little bit lighter. It always will be lighter because it's such an average, a 10-day average. But it's all going north. So there's no knowledge of the ocean, outside of being in it. There's no knowledge of the ocean that says he should be being pushed by the currents. In fact, they all say it's against him. It's against him half a knot or more. So that's what we're trying to figure out. These currents are one of our main interests in this project. And we'll be following through on that. And then I'll just finish up with this one thing and just show you the ASCAT winds. They're always interesting. Let's see. Here is the descending path. So, and that shows you. Now, again, remember, these are real winds here. It's not like a model. And this color scale, if you play with this, these are actually really good. Where the blue turns to the green is right at the 15. So this is, and you see here's green in here. All this green and blue is right around 10, 15, closer to 15 knots right in here. Pretty good. And you see here's when it's definitely above the 15 here in the light green. Now that's that. And, okay, now here's the point I want to stress. What time was that? And you go to these little purple numbers at the bottom here. You see the little purple number, 2058. That's the Zulu Greenwich time it went by, but we don't know what date. And this data set that this is on here is February 2nd at 5 o'clock, 5:02. That was literally just updated. It's right now 5:13. So this was just updated. But this is 2058, 21. So this actually, 21, that's yesterday. So this is actually this is about 5 plus 3. This is about 8 hours old here. So let's look at the other one. Go the ascending. That's the other pass down. Let's see what's going on here. This one was at 8:22 on February 2nd, and it's 5:14. No, this is even older. So this is almost like a day old here. So right now, it's not telling us that much about real fresh data, but it shows you the ballpark. And we do have the data. If you come on down here to the winds from the Bureau of Meteorology right here, this is their forecast for 12 Zulu on Friday. 12 Zulu, valid 12 Zulu on Friday the 1st. So this is yesterday's too. So these are, I have to double check if these are updating properly. But anyway, we see the general winds, even 15 knots, something like 10, 15 knots from the northeast. Everybody seems to agree with that. So I'm going to stop there. That's our new information. Our goal here is to see how these different resources interact with each other, and what we can learn about his conditions. And now, when it's almost done, then we're going to start looking more about, since we have all these forecasts down here. You see, you've got down here the surface forecasts, and here this is now, come down here, this is like 72-hour. Well, wait a minute, turn them all off, turn this one on. So there's a 72, here's his route coming in here. This is a 72-hour forecast, valid February the 4th. So pretty soon we can start looking ahead to see what conditions are, and then try to figure out what's going to be the best route to get down here to Cairns. That's our goal here.